guess what you know?
It's Big Boots, baby.
Yeah. Come on and work it for me and let your body move. We are here together and we're in the groove. We gon' party tonight. We gon' dance around, girl. My steppers that know how to get down.
Come on, step it to your right. Now step it to your left. Now right out in, left out in. Now right foot stomp, stomp, stomp. Now move it on up and turn. Now move it on up and turn. Now jazz box step with it. Come on, jazz box step with it.
Now, just did a whole 3 minutes.
I can hear you now.
Realized that you all could not hear me, so that's okay. I'll do it again. So glad you stuck around. So if you're out here, please come on in, Country Kid. Let me know where you are from. Go in the comments. We're broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube tonight. So just did a whole 3 minutes. Wow, and nobody could hear me, but that's all right. So tonight we got an excellent show tonight. We've got Mr. VetoWho. If you know anything about the off-road community, ATV ride and the whole thing, this guy is a premier videographer in it. He has a lot of other talents. We're going to talk a lot about that tonight. I met this young man a while ago, and he was out doing a lot of film. He does a lot of videography in that community. He has a lot of other talents. We'll talk a little bit about that. But I want to bring him onto the screen right now. Y'all know him. He's the man that's got the Who behind his name, and I'm not talking about the rock band. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my good friend, my mud buddy, VetoWho is in the building. What's up, big brother?
Yo, can you hear me?
I got you, baby.
All right. I'm here.
Man, I just did a whole 3 minutes, man, on mute. So y'all please forgive me. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You know
I was typing saying that we couldn't hear you, but I guess you wasn't looking.
I wasn't looking, man. I got it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing so much, I'm crazy. So y'all please forgive me for that. Good. But Vito, how you doing, man? What's going on with you, big brother?
You already know me. I was outside doing as much as I can until the show started.
Hey, this man right here, when I tell you work, and when he tells you he was probably outside to 3 minutes before it's time for him to get on this show doing some kind of work. He's a man. We'll get into all of that. But Vito, let's start the conversation off like I always start the conversation off. Where are you from, man?
I am from Natchez, Mississippi, Adams County. Graduated Natchez High. Roughly after that, I did junior college Colin. From there, I jumped up to Hattiesburg, USM. Did that 2012 and on. And graduated out that way in Hattiesburg. During that time, it was mostly strictly motorcycles and record music. Then from there, 2016 or 17, I ended up moving out to Pearl, Mississippi, and that will put me in this Pearl, Jackson, Rankin, Hines County area. And I've been here ever since.
Okay. So I know you said you went to Colin, you went down to the University of Southern Mississippi. Was anything that you were studying then, or were you studying for something else? Because we know you from the ATV world. Was it something else that you were studying then, or interested, or thought you were going to be a neurosurgeon, or, you know, what was it then?
So I always been drawing. So middle school, drawing, Dragon Ball, Gundam, Tenchi, stuff like that. So I liked it, animation, media stuff. So by the time I got to high school, I was still drawing. But I end up flipping that more towards architect. So I took 2 classes of AutoCAD and I wanted to do architect. Then I was still doing media, music, and drawing. So by the time I got to college, I thought I was going to go for media production, video, graphic design, and audio. And I said, I don't think that's going to really be a real hit. Because I'm like, if you can do audio and music and you can make it. Somebody, you do a song, you blow up, you blow up. You can do videos, content, you blow up, you blow up. So that's why I say I like electronics. I like computers still. So I end up doing IT. So that's how I end up getting into IT, networking, security, protocol, all that type of protocol stuff.
So you talked about the growing aspect. Now, another thing that a lot of people know you from, like we see in this picture here, you know, is the Veto tattoo.
Yeah.
So, you know, how did that come about? Because I know you said you grew up drawing, but how did you just dive into the world of tattooing?
I had my daughter around about 18, 19. I got her name. And then I think I got another tattoo in college. And I'm like, I think I could do this. I think I could tattoo. They say, bro, you ain't going to be tattooing. I said, nah, I think I could do it. So D-Mike, Demetrius Hattiesburg, that's my guy right there. No issues ever. I bought a tattoo machine. And I had two friend girls. I say, look, y'all gonna let me tattoo on you? She said, yes. So I'm like, okay, I don't know how to tattoo, but I could draw. So I did some clovers on one, and I did some stars on the other one on their foot. So the clovers was pretty fine. My stars wasn't all the way fine, and my guy was with me, and he fixed them. So from there, I said, yeah, I could do this. So I started tatting. I did about 10, 12, 5, 15 free. Then after that, I say I think I'm good enough to start charging. So I took off from there.
So the tattooing came before like the off-road stuff?
Close.
Around the same time?
I say I rode a 4-wheeler when I was younger. Well, 3-wheeler, Big Bear. And, you know, it wasn't mine. It was my uncle. So I drove it. I ain't never really getting to it, but I liked it. So
okay.
What really got me was 2005 Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina came, and for that whole week, it was wet, sloppy, everywhere. Everybody who wanted a 4-wheeler, had a 4-wheeler, was out. I started touching people's 4-wheelers, and I started like, man, I really want one of these now. I got to get me one of these. So after that, you know, 2005, I was like graduating and stuff, so I ain't had the funds to get one. I ended up getting a motorcycle. So around 2017, sometime after college and stuff, motorcycle and stuff, I ended up getting my first 4-wheeler from my auntie that was kind of broke down. We redid the carburetor, solenoid, got that sucker firing up, finally driving it, getting in the mud. I said, yeah, this is it right here. And from there, I've been off-road ever since.
And so you got a pretty similar story to mine. And it's crazy that right around, it was a little bit after Katrina hit. Like you say, everybody, because everything was down. You know, it was a big gas situation, big gas shortage, people standing in long lines. And a friend of mine's, we were all in. He said, look, man, I've got 2 bikes over here. We're getting ready to go riding. I had never been 4-wheeling myself, never been off-roading myself. But I was never scared of nothing. I grew up in the country driving tractors and stuff like that. So he was like, look, I got 2 bikes. If you want to ride, come on. And just like you, man, when I got on that bike the first time, and when I tell you, we did a ride, man, we rode from Terry Road. If you all aren't from here, I'm kind of talking over your head, but Vito knows what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know Terry.
We went from Terry Road, rode the power lines and the Pearl River all the way up to Old Kent in the woods. So I was hooked from then. So I'm like you, I got hooked a little earlier, but I still didn't get a machine.
Yeah.
Till much later. So that's the good thing about this ATV world. So transitioning into that, how did you get? You told how it was introduced, but how did you get into the performance side of stuff? Like you know them live. You look at this picture here, man. I mean, this is a long way from riding on. You know what I'm saying? This 3-wheeler.
Yeah.
I mean, you're out. You know, bounty holes. You know, all that stuff. So how did you really get into the competitive side of it and things of that nature?
So around that 2017 era, when I first got my first one, the Warrior, I was still driving motorcycles. So I raced at Hub City in Hattiesburg on the track. I've never been to Fat Tuesday in New Orleans because on Fat Tuesday I was at the racetrack betting money and seeing the races and stuff. So I had a motorcycle. I raced at a 980 at 156 in the quarter mile. So already competitive. Getting 4-wheelers. The Warriors like a mud sport 4-wheeler. So we was always racing and competing with each other. So after recording, doing the things I've been doing for a while, the people I've been bumping with, you know, you always do friendly little grudge races and stuff. And definitely after 2020, 2021, when everybody started getting a machine after COVID and they start doing more bounty holes and competition and you seeing it, maybe within the last 2 years ago, maybe 2022, I finally did my first one, competing in front of people instead of just recording and mixing it down. I got out there and participated. So now if I go to a real small tire, a little lower level, not the $20,000 machines, but maybe 12,000, 15,000 and below, I'll get out there and compete and play. And like, I don't really do it to win, because I know what them guys put in their machines, and I know what I put in mine. Mine just mostly trail ready, but I'm going to compete and race. But it's definitely fun. I just want to participate instead of just recording.
And a lot of times people, and I know me, I'm not at that competition stage, you know, and we all own a couple different bikes. I'm not at that competition stage yet. I'll get out. I'm trail ready. I'm mud ready. But when you're talking about hitting them boundary holes and things, you really got to know what you're doing. And I've seen you do it several times, and you really mastered the craft of getting out there. Like I say, within the level that you compete, I've seen you be very successful in it. I've seen you, you know, I always call you whenever we ride, because me and this man ride together all the time. You know, whenever I'm available, whenever he's available, that's the first thing. Where we going this weekend? We've got our own little private jet. Where we going this week? It don't matter how far, how close. Where we going this weekend? So when we're all available and we can make it, we always ride. And I've always seen him. He's our official trail boss. He actually leads. he leads a lot of the rides. He gets us out in the woods for 2 or 3 hours. He gets people scary. Gas tanks going low.
Yeah.
You know, we're going through some real situations. But that's what we look for in a ride. And for everybody that's out there that really don't live this lifestyle, that's what you want. It's always about the ride. And I tell anybody, you know, it can be scary out there sometime. And we're out there 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Most times. But it's such a peace. And do you find that when you ride, especially when we're on those long trail rides, is it peaceful for you? Is that where you find, you know, your space at?
Man, throughout the week, you know, most people work at 8 to 5. Boom. I work at 8 to 5. Then I come home and I'm still working. I may do a tattoo. I may do a wheel bearing, do something to the diff. I'm still touching something. So if I can get a good, successful Saturday ride in, I love it. Whatever worries I had or whatever I had going on through the week, or somebody got on my nerves at work or anything, I done forgot about it the whole day. I'm at peace right now, so hey, I ain't trying to stop and chat for no 30, 40 minutes, then ride 5 minutes. No, let me get out there and ride.
Yeah. And that's how it is, man. And you brought up a good point. You brought up 2 good points I want to touch base with. When we're out there riding, and with this interview, Vito, I'm really talking to the people that don't do this. Yeah. We've got thousands and thousands of people. I get a lot of inbox, especially with doing, you know, creating a big ride. I get so many people that finally get a chance to see it. And we'll touch base a little bit on how you play a part in it also. But there's so many people that don't understand this kind of culture. You know, oh, y'all out there in the mud, you're in the ride. But it's such a peaceful situation. It's such a camaraderie. We've met a lot of amazing people from all races, colors, political viewpoints, religious viewpoints. But I always like to coin this phrase, we're all one blood under the mud. Yeah. It doesn't matter who you are. As long as you talk about this mud stuff, you're going to find people that are going to be out there for you. They're not going to leave you out there in the woods by yourself. They're going to stay with you. They're going to feed you. They're going to drink with you. They're going to do everything they possibly do. I've done a lot of things in my life, being in the military. Being in this culture is the only thing that I can compare to my buddies in the military. We went through some things that nobody else in the world went through. And it's kind of like that when it comes to what we do on the trail ride community. You also touch bases about the influx, the blow up of the trail riding, and at least the ownership of ATVs after the pandemic. Yeah. Is there a reason you think maybe that happened? That so many people got into it after the pandemic?
Yeah. Because they told us we couldn't go to Walmart, we couldn't go to the movies, we couldn't go to the skating rink, we couldn't go to Subway, we couldn't go to nowhere. You couldn't even be close to nobody. So the next
we go to these woods though.
Yeah, so in the woods we like, shoot, we out here and about. Ain't nobody gonna put no government over us out here. We out here by ourselves. So I think when more people started having to be outside and be separated, we separated and came together outside, away from the public. And man, shoot, you know somebody got a 4-wheeler, they ride. And you come, you like, dang, man, I'm out here, but I'm not getting the full experience because I ain't got a 4-wheeler. So those people finding their best way, they getting their credit up to go get a 4-wheeler. So,
right.
Yeah.
That's a real thing, man. And that's what's so crazy. That is an excellent point. A lot of people got themselves together financially, credit-wise, just to be able to participate, because it's no fun standing on the side.
Yeah.
It's not. It's no fun riding shotgun. It's no fun. Everybody wants theirs. So me and Miranda first got our first one. We got that CF Moto 600, 2-seater. Great machine, 2 seats, very comfortable. But that got old real quick.
Yeah.
Miranda was like, look, I want my own situation. So, you know, and that's how that I knew then, because she started riding before I did. She's always been riding, you know, so I was kind of the newbie. And so it ended up 1 equal 2, and then 2 equal a few, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a very good point. There's so many people. And it was a good way to socially, but still social distance. Because when you're on the bikes, you're at least 6 feet away from anybody anyway. It's just like, you know, any moving vehicle. You're not riding in a clump. So you're social distancing and still participating in a social situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's why so many people really, really got into it. So we've talked about how you kind of got into it. We talked about the competitive side. Let's talk a little bit about how you got in and you became, if not the premier, but at least one of the top videographers that's chronicling the movement that is the outdoor, the ATV move. How did you start really, you know, the whole YouTube situations and all that? How did you really say, well, man, I'm going to do this also? I'm going to let these people know what it looks like. Because we talk a lot about it, but you actually provide that movie escape for it. So how did that happen?
That happened naturally, I believe. Even since middle school, high school, and college. In the high school, I had people come to the house recording music. We used to go do open up shows and stuff at clubs and stuff. Even in college and stuff, we was in college, I used to have my guys from Natchez come to Hattiesburg, and we used to open up in clubs, Memories, the Hunt Club, stuff like that, just doing music at parties and stuff like that. So I always been recording footage, even spring break, recording footage. I'm on Panama. That's when them Four Locos came out. I'm out there. I got everybody drinking Four Locos, but y'all on camera now, so if you cut up, I got you. So I always been, I'm going to recapture moments so we can keep these moments alive forever. So I always been that type of person. So when I came to off-road, and I'm like, hey, I'm catching this with a phone and stuff. Then I realized they make action cameras and GoPros. So now I'm catching this with action cameras and GoPros, putting on my head, giving people a point of view. I mean, I'm having a good time. I'm going to let y'all see this good time. And so maybe y'all will come out here and participate too. So then from there, I mean, I say, man, you can capitalize on this on YouTube. So I started trying to push it more on YouTube, Facebook, and all social media platforms. And then I found out you can get paid for it. So now I'm like, I used to do this for free, just letting people know and to get out here and come meet me. Now I'm like, I'm on it every other day now. So between here to Natchez, Hattiesburg, Wyoming, Philadelphia, and the community people I ride with, I am one of the most people I know that push out the most content. The only person I know that probably push out close to more is Jake Smooth. And shoot, that's about it. I mean, I see a lot of people. A lot of people at these events. I met Big Life Media. He push out a lot of stuff, but he been doing it for a while. And he's in Alabama, and he be going to Texas, so he's getting around more. But for down here, I'm doing a lot of pushing. And I'm definitely letting people know the trail ride community, off-road community, mud community. And it is a difference, too, between those groups.
It's definitely different. And since you picked that, just want to send a shout out to our buddy Jeffrey's on here. Jeffrey Willis, 901
Moto Gang
on here. Moto Gang is on here. Cadillac is on here, man. Cadillac Lindsay.
Yeah.
These are some of our big mud ride community people. And it has grown. And these people are from different places. Moto Gang 901, that's the Memphis area.
Yep.
You're talking about Cadillac, that's over
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia area, going toward the Golden Triangle. So it's people that come from all over. And you mentioned the difference in the different cultures. They're all considered, I guess, under the ATV and off-road community. But talk a little bit on how they are separated from the mud and everything else.
All right, so I dip and dabble with the different groups of communities in the off-road environment. So when I dip and dabble with your trail ride events, they're more areas, trails, built holes, maybe some land. We do concerts, we have vendors, we eat, have a good time, party, meet people. When I go to a off-road mud event, it's specifically for vendors of marketing, off-road equipment, gear, brands, teams of people, sponsors, and it's racing. And it's a lot different from trail ride. And then you got me, you, Angel, Sam, the people who's going out to really hit mud and hit a park. So that's different. Like, we going out to ride, get a good time in. And if it's a show, we might glance at it, but we're not there for the show, the event, the big bikes and stuff. And if it's a concert at the end of the night, if we get tired enough, we may watch it, but really we came to ride. So that's why I feel like it's like three different types of people, and I kind of dab in all of it.
And that's one of the reasons that we became so cool. Because like you say, it is different. The big ride is about a subset of it all. It's not an expansive. We're in parks that may be anywhere from 200 to 400 acres compared to the 700 to 5,000 acre big parks that we ride at. Things like Mud National and things like that.
Yeah.
And even with the friends of the program, Main Street Cycle, you'll see them a lot into those spaces where there are a lot of parts sold, a lot of merchandise sold. You know, they're gonna bring out the big trucks, the big trailers, because they are one of the premier companies that provide parts for everybody. So when you see that Team MSC and all that, they're at a lot of these major events.
Yeah.
You know, where it's going to be 20, 30,000 people at any given time. So there is a difference. It's just an amazing culture. I've run in, me personally, my testimony, I've run into a lot of great people. Vito is one of the examples of a lot of the great people. He's taught me a lot. He doesn't mind. He's quiet till he has something to say out there. Is that about right?
Yeah. I don't talk much until it's something I'm interested in. I know something on, or I'm just comfortable.
Yeah. So you've been a chatty patty tonight. So clearly you've been comfortable tonight. Hey, I love it, man.
I've been comfortable. I think the podcast thing, you know, I started doing my interviews with people in person when I was at the events. And I've been to some events, but I've been so tied up and so busy, and everybody been going, I haven't had a chance to pull nobody to the side. And then Kiki was beside me. She's saying, you were talking good on the podcast. You probably could do that and just pick up on your interviews. You know, I said I could, but I don't really want to run it like that. I like really just meeting people in person and being out there and setting up. So I've been comfortable. Like on the last podcast I did, I like mentioning people's names I fool with. We talked about the big ride on there. We talked about everybody I chopped it up with. So, I mean, I think this is a good way to either bring up names of people that's actually doing things in the community. It's a way to bring people on and let people know who these people are, where to meet them at, what's going on at the events they going on. So, yeah, I feel like it's a comfortable space.
Yeah, it's super comfortable. I enjoy it. And that was one of the main reasons I wanted to start doing the podcast, was not only from the entertainment perspective, but having people in from the trail riding world, because this is a growing phenomenon. I mean, the riding culture, the ATV, the outside culture is one of the biggest rising things economically that is happening. You know, you look at what we did 2 Saturdays ago with the big ride. That's 5,000 people in one place.
Yeah.
You know, these are real numbers. These are real people. And I would say at least half of that was bikes. So you're talking about thousands of bikes. This is not, for lack of better words, not a poor man's sport. Because, you know, these bikes will show you
I hate that too. I hate that too, because I meet a lot of people, and a lot of people inbox me and write me and say, man, I want to ride with y'all, or I'm going to get one soon, or when I get one, I'm going to hit you up. And I be like, man, I know I'm showing everybody the coach out here, and I really wish it was a little bit cheaper, but man, to honestly get a working good used 4-wheeler these days, you might spend $45 and up. If you spend,
well, I'll say this to your point, Vito. One of the best things that I could have done was team up with a company like Main Street Cycle, because for the money, and I'll tell anybody, if you're interested in getting into this sport and you really don't know a lot, because there are some bikes out there. You know, we have across the board different bikes.
mm-hmm.
But the best thing that happened to me is when I went and bought my CF Moto 600. Because for the money, it gave me everything that I needed as a starter bike. You know, so if you're interested in getting, I mean, from winches to lights to 2-seaters, it was a great bike. I still have it. Actually, Dave actually upgraded that bike for me. But for the money and for what that bike can do, and for the endurance, because you know, like I know, ain't many holes that you and I have gone in, and we got big bikes. You know what I'm talking about? Outlander 1000. Yeah. That Miranda didn't run that 600 clean through there.
Yeah, Blue Ball's coming behind.
Blue Ball's coming behind, but you know, so for anybody that's out there and they're interested in getting into it, and you're looking for a good starter bike, make sure you look at the people at Main Street Cycle. For one, I talk about them because I deal with them. I've had good business with them. They've always given me a fair price. They have the biggest accessories. They have the best parts. They have the best turnaround time. So if you're out there and you want something that is going to be dependable, look at CF Moto first. Then you can graduate. If you decide you just want to, but they've got some grown man bikes too. You know, they got the grown man bikes too.
I actually want me a CF Moto on the slick.
Right, and you're a Can-Am man now.
Yeah, I want one to run some holes in, build it up like my Can-Am, and just show people, hey, it don't really matter what brand you got. Honda, CF Moto, Kawasaki, Suzuki, whatever. If it's built right, you can come right. If you got the right mud tires, you got the right clutching, you got your fuel right, you got a little bit of lift kit, you can follow somebody on 1,000.
And that's the thing. I've got a 2-inch lift kit that Miranda got on Blue Ball. She's got more aggressive tires. She's got a stage 2 clutch. And everywhere we go, when we look back there, guess who it is?
Yeah.
Blue Balls.
Yeah, so you don't have to go buy a big, expensive quad to do this. Yeah. But you can make it with a smaller budget. You just won't make it as hard. Like when I'm coming out on 2 wheels or in the air. So
we're not Superman. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So we're going to leave that to you. We always got to have somebody that's going to do it. But Vito, before we get out of here, man, let the people know where to contact you. And I want to say this. This man does all of the footage that you've been seeing from the big ride, all the YouTube stuff that's out. He's done it. He does a great job. If you're looking for somebody to do and capture your event in a grand scale, because that's when I came to Vito. I said, Vito, I want you to capture the essence of it, and with everything we've seen. So Vito, let them know how they can get in contact with you, especially to get work done, filming it, and you do drones and all that stuff. So let them know, man.
Okay, to contact me, you can find me on Facebook at Veto Jackson. Space the word out. You can find my content on YouTube. Who doing what? One word spelled correctly. You can find me on TikTok at VetoWho1. One word spelled the same. You can find me on Instagram at VetoWho, one word same. And if you want to contact me for any events, shows, booking, anything, definitely contact me as in advance as possible. I'm riding almost every 2 weeks. I just did 5 weekends in a row by accident because stuff kept popping up. But I'm out here. I come record your content. If you want the raw content, I can give you the raw content. If you don't want the raw content, I am mixing the video down for my own YouTube, so you will have something coming out. But if you want something specifically made for you, I can do that also. I'm doing photography while I'm out there. I got drone images, so definitely you'll get your money worth. You'll have enough content to last you for one event for the whole year that you can chop up, mix up, DJ it in, mix it in, flyer it in, whatever you want to do with it. So it's definitely worth the time if you fool with me. Also, I dropped 3 videos from the last event we came from the big ride. Nobody asked for 3 videos, but I did 3 videos. I got one of the concert, I got one of the vendors, the dancers out there, and I did a 3rd one of the mud trails out there. So honestly, between those 3 videos, even one video on TikTok, that's easily gonna do over 5,000 views on just the content I'm pushing out. On Facebook, between all the shorts and people looking at it, that's still 5,000. Between YouTube, all the shorts that I push out from that one video, that's 5,000. Instagram, I mean, you can get up to 20,000 views off one video in the shorts I make from it for that week or 2 weeks, and I may still push it out for 3 weeks. So that's more views, advertising for your park, your event, your thing. Seems like a no-brainer to me.
It's a no-brainer to me. And ladies and gentlemen, this ain't just what I'm talking. This is what I'm doing. This is where I spend my money, even though we're close friends. But this is who I spend my money with when it comes to capturing my situations. This is who I trust. So this is the man. He's the legend. He's the mud rider. He's the body hole assassin. He's the producer. He's a videographer. And he's also a country king of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, Vito, I appreciate you so much for coming on to the program. You know what it is, baby.
Yes.
One blood under the mud,
yes, sir.
baby.
Appreciate it. Appreciate the time. Who?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you, big brother.
No problem.
Y'all, that's Vito, man. And when I tell you this is a great guy, he does a lot of stuff in that community. Just thankful that he's a friend of mine. And we're going to keep it moving because I want to get to another friend of mine